Hi, I'm Jared, and I'm here to talk about the sequence of events that led to the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico. Many scientists believe that the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico started from the vast quantities of nitrates flowing down the Mississippi River from runoff water in farming states that use harsh chemical fertilizers. The fertilizers flowing down the river into the mouth of the river where it meets the ocean causes the oxygen levels in the water to drop, causing causing a hazardous chemical environment for sea wildlife. When there is heavy rainfall, it causes more nitrates from the fertilizers to run off into the ocean and down the Mississippi River, which causes a large drop in oxygen levels in the water around the mouth of the river. There has been no consistent amount of rainfall to determine whether the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico is either growing or getting smaller. In the year 1985, the dead zone was at around 9,000 kilometers squared in size, but in the year 1990, the area dropped in size to 8,000 kilometers squared. Then 3 years later, it doubled in size to 18,000 kilometers squares, and it stayed that way all the way up to the year 1998, where it dropped to 12,000 kilometers squared. With the fluctuation in size of the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico, it causes much of the wildlife in that area of the sea to leave, which has caused unstable fishing grounds with effects to the economy and how fishermen make their money.
Hello, my name is Jalen Sanders, and I will be giving you the facts leading up to the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico. All right, the dead zone was formed by an excessive amount of nitrogen and phosphorus. Now, the nitrogen and phosphorus came from nearby farming facilities, and it came from human waste. The water in the dead zone became very hypoxic, meaning that it lacks the necessary amount of oxygen. Because of this, many animals, fish, and other plants tend to die. The damage done in the Gulf of Mexico is irreversible.
Hi, I'm Walker English, and I'll be discussing with you today the efforts that the world has tried in helping reduce the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico. The dead zone is a hypoxia which is caused by many environmental factors in the northern Gulf of Mexico. Large amounts of nutrients are discharged into the Gulf by the rivers, such as the Mississippi and the Atchafalaya River. A hypoxia is a deficiency in the amount of oxygen reaching the tissues in the water. On the contrary, the Nature Conservancy Organization is working with farmers to promote more effective and efficient uses of fertilizers, while also creating the two-stage ditch, which is a conservation tool that is beneficial to both agricultural and environment, which is shown right here. It also has a way that reconnecting by rivers to help the floodplain and not only help migrate the floods, but filter excess nutrients from the water. Legislations like the Restore Act and the Farm Bill will play a critical role in protecting the country's natural resources. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Joshua Jandrus, and I will be discussing our team's recommendation on how to reduce the size of the dead zone. Now, when thinking of our solution, we decided to look towards algae. Why algae, you ask? Algae actually thrives on phosphates and nitrates. So, our idea is to build a dam on the Mississippi River that will have different sections where we can grow algae. And with an endless supply of water coming through this dam, an endless supply of phosphates and nitrates, imagine how much algae we can grow. And each time the water goes through one of these sections, it gets rid of more and more phosphates and nitrates, with the end result of uncontaminated water being released back into the dead zone, which would help reduce the size of the dead zone. But we decided, let's not stop at making the dead zone smaller. Why not also create energy? With having an endless supply of moving water from the Mississippi River, we can actually get hydroelectricity from our dam, as well as harvest our algae and use the process of transesterification to produce it into biofuel. Now let's just think of that. We're helping reduce the size of the dead zone, and we're producing energy. Imagine that. Just imagine.